Hey,
Jagannath.
Jai Jagannath
Thanks
Mataji.
for participating. We are going to discuss some of your questions and give the best answers that I can
Oh,
give.
thank
Okay.
you, Mataji. I really appreciate you making time for me, and so that the world can benefit from
Okay.
not only the questions that I've answered, but just everything, all the knowledge that you're able to impart to the people. But yeah, thank you so much. So yeah, Mataji, I was reading this story. This is
Yeah.
about a crow called Kag Bushandi. Uh, Kag Bushandi, Kag
Ah,
Bushandi.
Kakabushuni. Okay, okay, okay.
Kaka
Yes.
Bushandi, yeah. I read that he has witnessed, and I believe you told me this as well, that he was able to witness like the Mahabharata and the
Yeah.
Ramayana several times,
Yeah.
and and I think at a very young age there was a movie I saw was called Back to the Future, and ever since then
Yeah, yeah.
I was always fascinated by time travel, and
Okay.
I. I I was wondering, like, is that even possible at all? Like, are we able to go back in time? I know the river of time, you know,
Okay.
physically and scientifically, it can't be done. But is that at all possible? Can God grant us the ability to either go back in time, or can we witness the events of the
Yes,
past
yes. That we
through some
can
sort
do.
of a divine
We
vision?
can also go back in time and witness the. The problem is that we don't have much power to influence the
Yeah. Yeah.
events and change the past. It's not impossible. It's not
Okay.
impossible. But it's very difficult and after all not so useful. But
I
we
know.
can
It's just,
definitely go back and see, you
yeah,
know.
because I sometimes wonder, like I would love to not only visit my past, but also, I mean, and I understand we can't change it. What's already done is done. But the same way how Kaka Bushandi was able to, witness the things he saw, my gosh, I would love to see the Mahabharata if I could, because,
It's
all
possible.
we
It's
see,
possible. It's possible. It's
but
possible.
what does that take to do that? I mean, that's like more meditation on like Lord Shiva or like who, you know.
Yeah, definitely more meditation is required. But uh, meditation is by itself is not sufficient because we also need the knowledge.
Hmm.
Because meditation, many people say meditation, but when you meditate, what you meditate on, you know, depending on the object of meditation, you can get different results.
Yeah.
Just like, whatever, when you say, oh, I'm going to cook. Yes, but what are you going to cook? Which ingredients and what you want to achieve, what kind of techniques. It's meditation is for many people, they think that meditation is just some relaxation technique.
Okay.
Already the fact that they can be quiet for some time, for them is a great meditation, like the Vipassana, the famous Vipassana. You know,
Hmm.
it is very successful because it just, puts people in a condition to shut up. It's not a big thing.
Vipassana is what, Mataji? Is that another word for meditation or?
No, it's a particular technique of meditation that has been developed in the last few decades from a Buddhist technique of meditation.
Okay.
But
Okay.
the Buddhist technique of meditation has been taken from the yoga. from the Hindu yoga. So
Yeah.
you go around and around and around is the same thing. In yoga, it is called Maun Vata.
Yeah, like
Maun means
a vow of silence or something, right?
silence. Yeah. So the Vipassana meditation is very simple. You just have to, stop the whatever activity of the mind and just focus on your breathing, which
Okay.
is the most, what to say, uh, elementary type of meditation. Now, the
But very,
yoga
it is pretty effective, though, right?
is
Focus
effective
on
for most people because most people are really, confused. They have
yeah, because
too
that's the
much.
only type I know is to focus on my breathing.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. But yoga is a little more complex. Has more, scope than just, silence.
Can we also like meditate on something else? Like if I put like a Shiva linga in front of
Of
me,
course,
can I meditate on like Lord Shiva or
of
something?
course, of course, of course. This is what I was saying.
Uh,
Now, the yoga system has yama niyama.
I don't know what that means, Mataji.
Yama niyama are the preliminary. Okay, Ashtanga yoga. Did you hear about Ashtanga yoga? No.
I have heard it, but I don't know what
Okay,
exactly it is.
Ashtanga means 8 parts. So the first 2 parts are yama niyama. Yama niyama means rules, lifestyle. So we need to practice this yama niyama. I can give you the list. It's not too difficult. No, and this is the preliminary condition to start the yoga practice. Then, uh, usually, the simplest thing that people are taught are the asanas.
Hmm.
Asana literally means sitting position, sitting place.
Yeah.
And it should not be a complicated position. It should be a position that you can hold for a long time during meditation so that your body is not disturbing you, not distracting you from meditation.
So like for someone like me, I have a lower back problem. I suffer with chronic back pain. I can't sit down on the floor like in a and sit. What do you call that? Like a lotus
Yeah, yeah.
position. I can't sit like that for
Padmasana,
very long periods.
Sukhasana.
So
No, you know
how
then
would
it
I do
is
it? What?
Savasana, the corpse position, which is
Oh,
you
I can
just
do it that
lie
way.
down.
I might end
Belly
up
up.
falling asleep though.
Perfect. It's an asana. Only thing you have to be careful not to fall asleep too easily.
Mm.
No,
So we could meditate in that position too, Mataji. Like
definitely. That's a bona fide asana.
okay, okay,
So, asana, then we have pranayama. Pranayama is not just about breathing. It starts with breathing, and then you come to actually control the energy in your body.
mm.
There are lots of techniques, lots of exercises, but pranayama is meant to uh, still the prana,
Okay,
which is exactly the opposite of what most people think.
yeah.
Because when they take the idea that yoga is a fitness practice, they think that pranayama is like oxygenating the blood to accelerate metabolism.
Yeah.
So you can, lose some fat, lose weight.
That's what I need to do. I don't know. I need
No,
to
no,
do
no, no,
that
no,
too.
no, no. That's not the point of pranayama.
Oh,
This is what
oh.
most people think, and that's why many people, sell the yoga in this.
Yeah, it's become commercialized now, right? So,
Exact. It was commercialized already by Iyengar, and even before Iyengar by his own guru. I don't remember his name. The Vinyasa yoga is just the physical yoga.
so when
It's a
people used to do,
scam.
like, in the ancient times, Mataji, when they used to do yoga, it was like more trying to like connect with God, I
Yeah,
guess,
we are,
or
we are getting there. We are getting there. We are getting there. So the
oh.
point is that pranayama, just like the asana, is supposed to um, eliminate the cause of disturbance from the body. The pranayama is meant to eliminate the cause of disturbance from the mind, from the prana kosha, the pranamaya kosha, because we have a body made of prana.
Hmm.
Subtle body. The Upanishads are explaining. The Yoga Shastra are explaining that the gross physical body is only a part of our material kit. Because we have a body made of prana, a body made of mind. They are called koshas or sheaths, like coverings. Coverings. So the pranayama is meant to stop the prana, to stop the breathing. This is why in ancient times the yogis went to meditate under the water. Because
Yeah, I have heard, like, in the Mahabharata, Duryodhana was meditating under
under
the
the
lake or
water.
something like that.
Yeah, yeah. That is a pranayama. The
But how can
purpose.
someone hold their breath for so long, I wonder, underwater?
Yeah, because the prana is not circulating. You retain the prana inside your body, and you stop the circulation of prana. It's the opposite of accelerating the metabolism. It is slowing the metabolism.
But
This
what
is
about
why.
breathing, though, Mataji? Like,
Huh?
I mean, like, wouldn't they drown? Like, how come they don't
No,
drown
no,
doing
no,
that?
no. No, no. Like, there are some, still today, there are some yogis who can even be buried underground. They can even stop the heart and start it again at will.
Yeah, I do remember. I think there was one book I read very, very long time ago. This is over 30 years ago, I think. And I think his name is Swami Vivekananda or somebody. I can't remember who it was. They said, like, when he died, like, he did some, like, his body was like not rotting for days or something like that.
Yeah, of
Like,
course, of course. Yeah.
you know.
Generally, the uh, actual people who actually practice yoga, they stop the prana inside the body. This is one symptom of samadhi. Through that particular kriya yoga.
And what is samadhi, Mataji? Just so
Samadhi
I can
means
clarify.
constant meditation.
Okay.
Now, what I was saying about pranayama, it's interesting because you can make the experiment. Because we already have a natural tendency in a human body to actually um, apply this spontaneously apply the science of yoga. Yoga is a science, and it deals with the natural laws.
Hmm.
So you could be, uh, you know, already perceiving the natural laws. Your body, your system, could already be following the natural system, natural laws,
Hmm.
if you are evolved enough. So you can make this experiment. There are, what is a sandhya? The,
Sandhya is like the evening or
y-
something, right? Or twilight, something like that, isn't it?
Sandhya means joining.
Oh, sorry.
So it's the joining of the day and the night. So
Okay.
it's the sunrise,
Like twilight or something.
noon,
No.
noon. It's yeah, twilight in the evening.
Okay.
Usually, the system was that um, Hindus who had any sort of dvijas, any sort of initiation like Brahmana, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, used to perform the Sandhya Bandhana. And usually there are four, then they just drop the midnight one, and
Ah.
they would be three Sandhya,
Okay.
which is the joining of the night with the day at dawn, then the joining between the morning and the afternoon, which is noon,
Hmm.
and the joining between the day and the night, which is the twilight, sunset, dusk. These are the times where the Dvijas, those who have been initiated in the traditional Hindu system, are chanting the Gayatri mantra. They're doing all their pujas and everything. Of course, the Sandhya of the evening is the most popular because
Hmm.
people, they have finished working, they can relax, they have some more time.
Got it.
It's just like the Navaratris. Navaratris, there's supposed to be four Navaratris in each year.
Oh,
You know, and
one
Navaratris
per
are, yeah, at
season.
every time of the major movements of the sun. So there should be the two equinoxes and the two solstices. But because people are busy and
Yeah.
four Navaratris every year is it's a job. So they're just keeping the Sharan Navaratri, which is the um, autumn fall equinox.
Okay.
And this has become famous as Navaratri.
Got
And
it.
there are four Navaratris, supposed to be.
Okay.
So there are four Sandhyas, maybe three. So during these moments of the change on the planet Earth, there are big changes in the planet, the energy of the planet. So, like for example, uh, at dawn, the tides change. The ocean tides, river tides. Because the water is influenced by the position of the earth and the moon and the sun. It's a gravity.
Okay.
It's gravitational field. So what happened, for example, in the early morning, it's the best time to go to the bathroom.
Mm.
It's the most natural time.
Yeah.
No? So if you go to the bathroom around dawn or before dawn, your body becomes more easily free from the toxins.
In the evening.
In around before or after dawn
Before or after dawn. Okay.
means, okay, let's say the sunrise is 7 o'clock, 7
Yeah.
a.m. Okay, now the muhurta, the Brahma muhurta is I think 1.5 hours, if I'm not mistaken, before dawn. So
Yeah.
you can start say 6:30, 5:30.
I heard that if you can go twice a day, if people have a bowel movement twice a day, that's even
No,
better,
no,
right?
no, no. It's not necessary. But again, at sunset, around dusk, around twilight, there is another movement of the energy of the planet. So you can go to that time if you want to go twice. Okay,
Okay.
but the
I
point
would
is,
love to go twice if I could, but
no,
I only
no,
go once.
it's not required, not required. But the
Okay.
point is that at these specific times, the energy, the prana of our body is changing, is moving. So if you make the experiment at these times, you breathe through the two nostrils at the same time.
Yeah, and what about for people like me, for example, Mataji? I have something called a deviated septum where I'm not able to breathe properly through both nostrils, like evenly, because one of the bones is a little,
Well,
one of the
that's
nostrils is wider than
unfortunate,
the other.
but in any case,
Oh,
it's not a problem of the nostrils.
okay.
It's the action. The nostrils are just like the exhaust pipe.
Mm,
You know, we are talking about the movements of the fuel inside the body.
mm,
You know that there is a sushumna, then there is ida and pingala.
okay.
You heard about those?
No.
Nope. Okay. Yeah. These are stuff that yoga teachers should teach.
Yeah, I
They
mean, I've
don't.
heard of. I think I've heard of that word Pingala, but I never knew what that meant. But I think I've heard of it.
Okay, so there are three nadi. You heard about nadi?
I've heard about Nadi, in terms of like astrology. Like
No,
I heard it there or something.
no, no, no. The nadis are acupuncture,
Yeah.
acupressure, reflexology.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Uh, the traditional Chinese medicine took these ideas from yoga.
Okay.
Now, what they call meridians in traditional Chinese medicine are called nadis in yoga. So they are meridians of energy
Mm,
that circulate all around the body. They take
okay.
the prana everywhere. So it's not the nerves, it's not the blood vessels, it's a different thing. That you cannot see, you cannot, cut the body open to find the nadi because it's an electrical current.
Yeah.
You don't see electricity.
Got it.
If you go and you cut someone up and you try to find the nadis, you never find them. Now the meridians in Chinese traditional Chinese medicine are very important because they transport, they carry the energy. So there are many nadis, but there are three main nadis.
Okay.
One goes through the spine,
Okay.
and it's called the sushumna. And it's the energy that keeps the entire body, going. Around the sushumna, there are two nadis that keep, you know, entwining. So these have you seen this symbol that they use in the West about the medical profession? It's called the caduceus. There is a kind of rod with two
Yeah, with two
snakes.
snakes. So
Yeah,
yeah.
this is it. This
Does that
is
come from Hinduism as well, or
huh?
does that symbol like originate from Hinduism as well, or?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And it goes through Greece, but it originates from Hinduism.
Oh,
So
okay.
the rod in the middle is the Sushumna, and the two snakes are the Ida and Pingala.
Got it.
These are the three main nadis of our pranamaya kosha, our pranic body.
Got it. Got it.
Okay, so uh, and the chakras are like sockets, electrical sockets along the sushumna,
Got it.
and the marmas are intersections of secondary nadis.
Got it. Got it.
So if you have the knowledge of nadis and marmas was not only in yoga but also in the training of kshatriyas, because martial arts, because by manipulating the marmas you can actually have extreme effects. And this is how the acupuncture works. Why the
Mm.
acupuncture works? Because the metal needle is going to act as a switch, electrical switch. In this electrical installation, the electrical system of prana inside our body.
It's sad that all these ancient knowledge has either been forgotten or hidden or
Of
just I don't know
course,
what's done. And I wonder if this has to do with the dark influence of the Kali
of
Yuga,
course.
because like if I recall, like the times when Lord Vishnu came to Earth, it has to do, like I remember one of them, like what is it, like one of the asuras, they had stolen the Vedas or something, right, Mataji, and they hid it underwater or something.
You don't,
So
no, that's not in Kali Yuga, but you don't need asuras to come and steal the Vedas. You just need people to become stupid,
hmm,
which
yeah,
is
that
exactly what happens in Kali Yuga. You
yeah.
know, in Kali Yuga, the intelligence of people goes down. Like, ooh.
But speaking of intelligence, Mataji, so I mean, that actually reminds me of my next, the question, the next question.
Okay.
So, I wanted to know, and I've asked you this before, like, why is it that I still cannot remember my past life, right? And was it like in the Sat Yuga and Treta Yuga, all these other yugas, were people able to remember their past life if that's why they knew who they were? Like they knew who they were in their past life?
Yeah, more than in Kali Yuga, definitely. But the
So
point
why
is to
why can't I
remember
still
your
remember,
past
Mataji?
lives, Dinesh.
Yeah.
You have to stop identifying with this present body.
And I'm trying, Mataji. I try to do that, and I still try to like think like, okay, like there's been certain nights I close my eyes and I'm trying to think, okay, uh, who were probably my parents in my past life?
No, 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 no,
What
no. You're doing
significant
it
event can I
wrong. You're
remember?
doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You're trying to jump the steps in the stairs, the ladder. You're jumping the steps.
But if I know that I'm not the body, right? And I'm not just speaking for myself, but for other beings, right? And I understand, like you mentioned, we can't remember what we had for lunch last year or the year before. But why can't we not remember things like, okay, who my ex spouse was? Uh,
We
where did I go
can,
to
but
school?
it's
Who were my best friends
conditional.
when I was young?
It's
That
conditional.
that
You
previous
have
life.
you listen. Before running, you need to learn to walk, and before
But these
walking, you
memories
need
shouldn't
to
require
crawl.
that, though, Mataji. Why can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand, but we need to do gradually. Doesn't mean slowly, but it means gradually. You cannot jump steps in a ladder because you just fall down. If you try to do as you're doing, what will happen is that your fantasy will build false memories. And what's the
Okay.
benefit of that?
Yeah.
So what you need to do, you need to start by regressing gradually. Like for example, you do your meditation. First of all, you have to try to get out of your body because it is possible. It is possible. Anyway, when you concentrate, then you are relaxing, maybe in the evening or maybe in the early morning before getting up. Try to remember something that you know is true, like your life as a child. Start with solid memories, or as a young man, you know. Try to get into that memory.
I have, Mataji. I've thought about, like, for example, me spending times with my grandfather,
Yes,
where I used to play when I was a kid.
excellent.
Just little things like that. But when I try to really focus, like, okay, what was beyond that?
You
For some
have
reason,
to
can't think it.
work. You have to work that intermediate memory. You have to get into that if you get a memory, you know, even a real memory comes up, like when you were with your grandfather, some memory is true. Okay, you need to work on it and practice on it. You need to get into that memory. You need to be there. You need to relive the entire experience.
You mean imagine it in my mind, or
No, visualize, not imagine. It's
yeah?
different. When it is an action memory, you have to expand your mind and perceive as much as you can. Like, for example, if you can see images, if you can perceive smells,
Oh,
smells
Mataji,
are great.
sometimes I smell certain things, and
Okay,
my God, it reminds me of the past. Some of the smells.
exactly,
Oh,
exactly. Now you have to get to work on that. You have to put all your consciousness, all your awareness in that particular um, actual experience. And you have to be there. You have to
hmm,
travel there. You have to be there and actually experience the whole situation very vividly.
okay.
If you don't practice that, you're going to fall into the fantasy land. What's the benefit? You know,
Hmm.
it's you can watch a movie then. You can watch some back in
Oh,
the
I wish I
future.
could watch a movie of my past.
No, no, it's not there. We cannot cling to fantasy, and fantasy doesn't have any sensory luggage, doesn't have emotional luggage, sensory luggage. You can see the difference because, as you said, some smells are actually, taking you back there
Yeah,
to the real memory.
yeah.
Now, if you don't have the same experience when you remember a past lifetime, it's probably not true. It's just a fantasy, a dream. So work on what you are sure is solid. A real memory from this lifetime, from
Okay.
your childhood. Because in your childhood, you didn't have the same body.
Yeah.
So you have to go back and be that child. And be a child again. Really be there. Put all your consciousness there. Perceive everything. Recover everything. Images, smells, sounds, all that um, is attached to that experience. because the memory contains all that. Subconscious has the whole package. And
Okay.
when you are there, try to feel the emotion. So just be there, you know. As they say, be here now. Yes, be here now. But if you want to recover the memory, you have to be there then, not here now. You understand? So
Okay.
if you try that, you make practice with that, then gradually you can go back even further.
Okay.
So,
I'll try it, Mataji.
get to some years prior, and at
Yeah.
some point, this is what they do with hypnosis. They take you back through actual memories of this lifetime. They usually do on birthdays. Your 30th birthday, your 20th birthday, your 10th birthday, your 5th birthday, your 3rd birthday, your 1st birthday, and before that, what is there? So naturally, your mind, your subconscious will be already on that path. You cannot jump. You cannot jump the steps of the ladder. You have to go one step after the other.
Mhm.
So, it takes more patience
Yeah, I know. It's just
and little more work. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. But let's conclude this thing of the prana and the yama niyama pranayama and meditation. Okay, because we are talking about
okay.
that. Now, as I was saying, during the three sandhyas, the energy of the planet and also the energy of our material physical bodies are feeling the change, the
Hmm.
movements of the gravitational field, of the energy field, biomagnetic field. It's something that affects the whole planet. So at those four particular moments of shift, usually our breathing becomes stabilized. So we are breathing more or less in the same way through both nostrils. And this is the beginning of the balance of the two energies that we have, the Ida and Pingala. We need to balance these two energies. This is why the basic pranayama is that you do, a cycle of breathing cycles by keeping one nostril closed and then the other, because you are trying to uh, bring about that same condition of the perfect balance of the two halves of the body.
Hmm.
We can talk about the two brain hemispheres, but that is the hardware. It's not the software. It's not the electricity. More important than balancing, because the brain, the two brain hemispheres, are just the physical support for the electrical currents. So when the electrical current is fine tuned on both sides, both the male and female energy in your own body, you know, then you can actually have better results in meditation. So when you learn the pranayama, then the next stage is the pratyahara, which means you learn to withdraw the mind and the senses from the sense objects, which is both external and internal. Which means you're not disturbed by, I don't know, the cars passing by, or someone phones ringing, you know, you cut them off because you withdraw your senses from these things. So you don't notice them even, you know, and then you can start meditating. Meditation, the first stage of meditation is called dharana, which means keeping something in your mind, focusing your consciousness, your attention on something specific and holding it. Dharana means to hold. It means holding, keeping it steady. So, the mind is very restless, you know. So,
I
I,
know my.
huh?
I said I know my mind is very restless.
Exactly. So, this is there is a number of exercises to train your mind to stop being restless,
Hmm.
which is coming to your question if you can meditate on Shiva or, any Murti, Vigraha, form. Yes, of course. But the point is you have to keep your attention focused for a longer time.
Hmm.
The easiest way to do that is through the mantra japa.
Om Namah Shivaya, like
Om
that.
Namah Shivaya is great because it helps you to stay focused, to keep the
Hmm.
object of meditation, to hold it in a solid manner. Other exercises called, for example, the Trataka. Trataka means you look at some yantra or just a lamp. You just, you have a candle. Just look at the light of the candle. But that is more difficult. It's easier if you chant the mantra japa.
Can we look at like for? I mean, when you mentioned the candle, Mataji, like when we light up like a diya, right? Like with
Yeah,
the ghee and the
lamp. Yeah.
stuff. Can we pray to like Agni Deva or something? And no.
Why you want to pray to Agni Deva?
Oh, I mean, like like because he'll
No, no,
physically
no,
is
no, no, no,
actually.
no, 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 no. The light, when you make the meditation on the light, the Gayatri mantra is not talking about Agni.
Okay.
You know the Gayatri mantra?
Yes.
Okay, you know the meaning?
It's something I don't know the full meaning, to be honest with you. It's something about like having the knowledge, asking God to impart knowledge on you or something like that.
It's
No,
about light.
light. Okay.
That's what you need to meditate on when you look at the light. It's a light of the
So when I
Brahman.
look at like the candle light, should I say the Gayatri mantra when I look at it, or?
No, no, no. You just meditate on God. You can go on because what do you think? That Shiva is not the light?
Oh, he is. He's
Yeah,
like if like meditate on Lord Shiva and
yeah,
say
as
the
the
guy.
light, as the light. Yeah,
Okay.
Agni is an elemental ontological archetype.
Okay.
It's
Because I used to once in a while say the Gayatri mantra while looking at the photo or statue of Lord Vishnu in the past.
okay. Vishnu Shiva. Vishnu
Yeah.
Shiva is not different.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But the Gayatri mantra is Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo
Devasya.
Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Tat
Yeah.
Savitur. Who is Savitur? We Savitri. Savitra. We
I
Savitara. The sun.
I heard he's like
Is the sun. Surya.
something, right?
Huh?
Like he is he related to the sun?
Sun.
Like
Yes.
this. Surya.
Savitar is the sun. Tat Sabitur. So the Gayatri is worship to the sun at dawn, at midday, and the evening. That's why the Gayatri is chanted during the Sandhya Vandana, Trisandhya Vandana, because you're meditating on the sun, you're worshipping the sun. That's what it is. Bhargo Devasya, it is the sun is the radiance, is the light of God.
Mm.
So when you meditate on the Gayatri, which we should do only when the sun is there, of course, you cannot do in the night,
Yes.
But when you meditate with the Gayatri, you are actually worshiping God, the light of God. You can do that with a candle, because it's light. You don't need to bring Agni into the picture.
Oh.
Okay, there are different personalities of God. Okay, they're generally categorized about as in categories that is as Swamsa, or Vibhinamsa, or Shakti.
Mhm.
Okay, we are Shakti. We are Jivas, Jivatmas. Okay. Now, the Swamsa are the direct manifestations of God, which are worshipped through the Tantra system, which is Vishnu, Shiva, Shakti, and some people also worship through Ganesh and Surya. So there are
Yeah.
5 different categories of Tantra. Okay. These are the forms of God, the main, the main forms of God that we should worship through Bhakti and Tantra. Then there are these personalities, these manifestations or avatars, they're called Vibhinamsas. So
Okay.
the Vibhinamsas are the representations of God in the material world as components of reality. As I was saying before, an archetypal ontological manifestation. Like, for example, Brahma, the Prajapati Brahma,
Yes.
there is no Tantra for Brahma. So you cannot become a bhakta of Brahma. Brahma is the principle of organization of this universe.
Mhm.
So, an Agni is the fire. Indra is the rain, Parjanya. Vayu is the air, including the prana and electricity. Bhumi is the Mother Earth. And so on. All these personalities of God are only, members of the government. So we
Ah.
worship them only in the ritualistic ceremonies that are meant as social duties.
Mm.
We have debts, Rina. We
Mm.
have to pay that through the Pancha Mahayagya. Okay?
Mm.
So we need to reciprocate what the Vibhinam Sadevas are giving us. We need to contribute to the maintenance, support, and progress and well-being of the universe. So this is the job of these Vibhinamsa Devas, Vibhinamsa avatars, like Indra, Agni, blah, blah, blah. So we do worship to them, we can offer pranam to them, but there's no point in doing bhakti to them. You
Mm.
understand the difference? Because
Yeah.
they're not interested in bhakti, they're doing the
They're not
job.
gods. They're not real. They're not God, right?
They are
They're.
God. Everything is God. Nilesh.
Oh.
Brahman is everything.
Oh.
God is existed itself. So, all the beings are in God. All beings are parts of God.
But Mataji, if these beings are not interested in
Bhakti, in the personal
bhakti,
relationships, yes.
so if they weren't, how was it that Kunti was able to summon them and have a child by like Indra and
Yeah. But they
Vayu
are
and
persons, yeah, because of the mantra that Durvasa gave to Kunti.
uh,
Okay. It's not that you cannot have any contact with these devas. You can. You have
mm,
to. But you have to do that in the, what to say, um, regular rituals that you do. For example, the Havan,
yeah,
the Agnihotra Yajna, the Homa and the Soma. Now there are two main types of ritualistic sacrifice. One is in the fire and the sun, and the other is in the moon and the water. Okay. Now the Soma yagyas are not, they're not happening anymore because it's complicated. But the Homa yagyas, they are done very often in traditional Hinduism.
so like there's a fire sacrifice and
Yeah,
there's also a water sacrifice too. You're saying, Mataji?
yeah, a Soma sacrifice. But nobody is doing it anymore, practically speaking. There
Oh.
are people who have a family named Somayaji, for example, but because someone in their ancestry they did it, but now nobody is doing it. They're not even sure what Soma is anymore.
Yeah, I Soma I know is like the Chandra Dev, right? Uh,
Like what?
like the moon, right? Chandra.
Yeah, Soma, exactly. But
Yeah.
Soma is also a
But there's
plant.
also Soma that I've heard of, like where it's like a drink that Indra Dev
Yes,
loves to.
exactly. Drink means water.
Oh,
So the Soma is also a plant, the Soma lata.
I want to know where I can find that plant. I heard
Oh, they
that's.
they they outlawed it in the United States,
Oh,
just like the ganja,
yeah.
because the Somalata is so good for you that the big pharma cannot accept competition.
So like, does it still grow in India or
Yeah,
someplace,
yeah,
Mataji?
yeah. It's growing everywhere on
Because
the
I thought it
planet.
might have been like some sort of a mythological plant,
No,
but
mythological.
I don't know.
If you don't know what it is, of course it's mythological.
Yeah. Yeah.
For someone who never
Like
seen
like
an
even
airplane, thinking about people flying
yeah.
in the sky is mythological.
Because I also the other plant, the one that Hanuman brought to Lakshmana, the
See,
kidney.
that's another one, but that's a particular thing that I don't know if or where or whatever. What I know, I've done some research on the Somalata, and the Ayurvedic treatise, I mean the books, the original Ayurveda Shastra, they're explaining that the Somalata is what is called, botanically speaking, ephedra.
A Fedra? What's that?
Ephedra is a genus of a plant that has several
Oh, yeah, yeah.
varieties, and they're growing everywhere.
So what's the benefit of a soma ras, like som drink? Like, is it supposed to give you better health or something? Or
Oh, definitely. It's better health both mentally and physically because until, yeah, I wrote an article some years ago. I published.
I have seen like online, like Amazon, they sell it. They import it from India. Can I?
Of course. The problem is that I also purchase it from, but it's, first of all, we don't know if it's really the actual plant.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
But you
true
can
too.
find it in the United States. It's called Mormon's tea. It's
Okay.
also called squaw tea, Mormon's tea. You know, the ephedra, you can find it there. I think it's easier because in India there are too many cheaters. You know,
Yeah.
I was trying, but you know, people are not. You know,
Mm.
it's Kali Yuga. What to do? But
Okay.
you know, a few years back, I don't know how many years back, this ephedra, specifically ephedra gerardiana, was used to extract the active principle called ephedrine.
Okay.
So this ephedrine was used as a food supplement,
Mm.
and it gives enormous strength to both to the mind, to the brain, to the nervous system, and to the body. At
Oh,
some point,
if you could type it out for me,
yeah,
Mataji, I would love to
I
go
will
and
send
research
you by
it.
WhatsApp. So what
Okay.
happened, you know, at some point, even when it was sold normally on the market, it was saying that it is outlawed. You know, it could not be used for exams in school and for
Oh.
sports competitions
Oh.
because
Okay.
it gave an enormous advantage
Yeah.
to people. And then at
Oh.
some point it was totally outlawed by the government. And
Yeah.
mostly, I hear, mostly it's used today by drug traffickers, the good ones, to
Uh-huh.
cut some other drugs.
Yeah, because I do know that the government is colluding with all these big corporations
Yeah,
to make sure that the only the Western drugs have surpassed
yeah,
passed have been authorized to use, and
yeah.
it's all
Well,
about money
the
for them, right?
United
They only
States
want to make
government
money.
holds a patent to cannabis.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why, but
Yeah, I know why. Because
I mean,
until the 50s, cannabis was normally sold everywhere as the
yeah,
best medicine for 200 different diseases.
yeah. I actually, I used to smoke it. I'm not gonna lie, Mataji. I've smoked it before. They say, I mean, I think people now they abuse it, but it helped a lot of people's pain and things like that. Like
Of
it was a
course,
good
in
pain
many
management.
states, in the United States, in many states, it's now legal. It started being legal for medical use.
Oh yeah, now it is. Now,
You see,
well, some of my friends they smoke it because they just like to smoke it,
but
but I can
better
go
than
locally and buy
smoke,
it.
better than smoke is if you ingest it.
It's
You
better
know,
to ingest it.
it's much better. Like
Oh,
you see, this you heard about the bhang?
yeah.
You know,
That's like Lord Shiva's favorite drink or something, right?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. What it is? It's a
But I
fresh.
heard when people drink it, it can cause like hallucinations and things too, Mataji.
Well, okay. This is a little slippery slope because
Oh,
we don't want to be accused of encouraging illegal activities.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, because that's a serious point. You know, even if the law is wrong, still we cannot uh,
we
commit
still have to abide
illegal
by it, right?
activities, or we
Yeah,
cannot even encourage illegal activities. But
yeah.
the point is that every medicine can be a poison. Now, the effect of some plants, some plants, including, for example, the famous ayahuasca. Now everybody is going. It's like next they will make the bus, the bus tours to the Amazon jungle to try the ayahuasca. Groups of people going anyway. So many plants, some plants have what we call psychotropic properties. Some are psychedelic, and some are just psychotropic. This means that some even our body is creating some psychotropic substances that we call hormones,
Yes.
like dopamine, like adrenaline.
Yeah.
These are psychotropic substances. Now, there are many plants that have an effect on both body and mind because they have an effect on the nervous system. Now, some of these plants have the power of opening some neuronal connections, like switching on the entire Christmas tree.
Those plants can't help us remember past lives, can it, Mataji? Or
Too difficult. You can't remember past lives if you are in jail. It's not a good place to do that.
yeah,
So don't do that. Please do that. If you want to go to India, even maybe because you are of Indian, what to
yeah,
say, phenotype,
yeah, yeah.
you can probably, pull it off.
Okay. Okay.
But there are very strict laws, stupid, from
Yeah.
the government against the drugs.
Okay.
So they're very strictly controlled by the government. If you go to Puri, there are shops
Okay.
that sell bhang, but
Okay.
they're controlled by the government. If you want to try, you have to send someone local to get it for you.
Got it. Got it.
Because if you go there and the police sees you, you have a
Mm.
problem.
Okay.
Okay.
Understood.
But definitely, I would not recommend it in United States.
Oh no, no, I wouldn't be doing it anyway.
Thanks,
But
thanks. You know, but there are also,
anyway,
for example, ingestion. There are lots of people who make brownies. The cookies,
yeah.
special
I
magic
will try
magic
that
brownies.
because it is cannabis is legal in California. People, I can
Okay
buy it.
then. Okay, but
I
then
can
you
buy
can
it.
try. Then you can try.
Yeah. So
So
I
if
will. I will
yeah,
try it one of these days. But
make a
I
tea.
haven't done it in a very
Make a
long
tea.
time. But yeah.
Because probably you're not going to get the fresh ones. You know.
Yeah. Well, they grow it everywhere here now. So you could.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
they grow it
you
here.
do
You
you
could go to
do
your local store. I mean, not your local store, but they have these pharmacies where you have to pay like $60 or something, and then the doctor prescribes it to you, and then you just basically tell them what they have become so scientific with this now with cannabis, Mataji, that they're growing it for different types of moods and different types of purposes.
okay.
Like if some people want to feel happy, they have cannabis specifically for that. If some people want to just be mellow and sleepy, they have something for that. They have done so many different types of
Hmm.
hybrid plants now that it's mind-boggling. So
Try if you can go to the original ones, not the
yeah, I don't know
hybrids.
where I can find that, but I
No,
can.
in
Yeah,
case, if it's legal at your place, you can try to find something as
yeah,
original as possible. as primary, as less tempered as possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Less hybridized.
Oh yeah, that's
Because
really hard to
they
find.
don't, they're just playing. They're
I think those I
playground.
need to go to like India, like in the Himalayas or something to find those maybe. But
I don't
no.
think so. I think it's easier in California.
Okay.
Don't think that India is what it used to be.
Oh, okay. Okay. All
India
right.
is not a place for yogis anymore. The yogis they
Yeah.
have in India is at the level of Baba Ramdev, which is like
Yeah.
not exactly.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
pretty pathetic. So, the point is that you need to be able to control your mind. Because if you switch off on all the lights and you are not able to control the electrical system, you can pop a few light bulbs. You
Mm.
don't want that. This is what happens to the people who are, overindulging without knowing what they're doing.
Got it.
So that was, if you see my book, Why I Became a Hindu, I think there was this Swami was called Ganapati, Ganesh Baba, some Ganapati Baba, who
Mm.
actually became very involved in the hippie movement in the 60s
Mm-hmm.
because he was an associate of Amritananda Mai.
Okay.
So, and he once he was there around the ashram of Amritananda Mai, and he saw a bunch of hippies were camping around there because there are lots of people were going to India to find
Mm-hmm.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
So he was watching them and said, wow, these are,
Yeah.
they're doing, they're just like sannyasis, they're like sadhus.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he observed that they were smoking pot without knowing what they were doing. And he was like, doing what they're doing is just going on the ocean by using a boat without oars, without
Mm.
rudder, without anything. You don't, you're
Yeah.
just going, hey, wow, yeah, nice, go. So you can shipwreck very easily. So the point is
Yeah.
that if you want to use, herbs, plants, herbal medicine, you need to really know what you're doing, and you
Yeah.
really need to be able at least to control your mind
No.
enough
Yeah. No. No.
not
I
to,
don't plan on
you
doing
know,
it anytime soon, Mataji. The only herbs I experiment
chamomile.
with is the ones I buy at the supermarket, like garlic
Yeah.
and things like that. So
No, garlic will
yeah.
not do that. In
Yeah. Yeah. I
fact,
know. I
in
know. But I heard
fact,
it's good for like.
garlic and onion
Oh.
you
Yeah.
might want to avoid.
Okay. Oh, Mataji, I unfortunately I have
Go.
to go. My mother's calling me.
No problem. Thank you. We
But
talk again.
thank you so much, Mataji. Have a
We
good
talk
rest of
again.
your evening.
Jai Jagannath.
Okay.
Thanks. Thanks.